Hey, hi. So I guess each one of you are doing really, really well. And I was having some conversation with my friends, with some people who just want to, study literature in a better way. They want to understand. They want to analyze a piece of poem, a particular novel, or a short story, or particular piece of literature published upon a blog in some other way, not in the normal way. Just Jack and Jill went up to the hill to fetch, you know, water or something like that. They want to read between the lines. And I guess the best way to read between the lines to understand the literary devices, the simile, the metaphor, the point of view of the author, the historical context, and many other things is to study literary criticism and the various theories, literary theories. So, without wasting my time, I thought of going back to my books which I had studied during my postgraduate exams during my university days in Pune. So why not give it back to the students, to the people of literature who genuinely appreciate literature, who wants to appreciate literature, but they don't have any kind of formal training or something like that. And don't worry, this is not a commercial aspect, and you are not it is not going to cost you a single penny, single rupaya, whatever it is. Let us see. So I developed, a particular structure, particular some slides so that you can have a concrete way of learning literary theory and criticism. Let us see what we have in store. Papa, pari, papa, pari, papa, pari, papa. Hey, hi. So we are having this thing. I'm just starting the slideshow. Of course, this is the first one. Of course, why you are supposed to listen to me. So yeah, so I have given you reason why you can listen to me. You can have a little trust. I'm not asking you to trust me blindly. Whatever I'm going to teach, I'm not saying I'm going to teach you or something like that. Whatever information I'm going to share it over here, you can always go up to the Google. You can always go up to the books in your library and cross check all the facts. So this is me. These are my degrees and all those stuff. That's not important. Let us see the course overview. So the first lesson will deal with, or the first interaction will deal with the ancient classical theory, and it includes Plato, Aristotle, of course, the poetics, the Republic, why poets should be banned, what is the concept of mimesis, the art of imitation, blah blah. In the next chapter, we are going to see the rise of literary theory during the Renaissance, of course. Sydney, Johnson. We'll quickly move over to the Romantic era. Of course, I refer to the Romantic era of England. If you study British literature or something like that, I wander lonely as a cloud. That is one of the most famous, expression of the literature, Romantic era. These lines has been taken from the famous poem Daffodils by William Wordsworth, and William Wordsworth himself came up with the preface to lyrical ballads. So we are going to study lyrical ballads, of course, bits and bits, and along with William Wordsworth, we are going to study also Samuel Taylor Coleridge, the difference between imagination and fancy. That's really, really important. After that, we'll go back. We'll come back to. Sorry, we'll not come back. We'll move ahead to the Victorian era. And in this particular era, we are going to focus on this particular gentleman, Matthew Arnold. He is very important. You will love what are the theories, what are the enormous contribution to the field of literary theory. It will help you to understand, to give the wider view, wider aspect, wider a better perspective of the literature of the Victorian era. Because according to me, Victorian era is one of the most important era of literature because it gave rise to the novels. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Samuel Richardson Pamela, which was the first novel, and many theories. I'm going to talk about the theories in that particular lecture or particular video. Now we are coming back. We are coming to the modern age, and this modern age, it has witnessed many new theories. For example, the new criticism, because here you don't need to in this particular new critics, F.L. Levi's, You are going to study about the text, not the context of the author. What was the historical concept? What are the, what is the psychological aspect of the author or something like that? His personal life doesn't matter. We're going to study age of new critics. After that, so in basically literary theory and criticism, there is this particular theory, and after some years, this particular poet or particular critics come up, and they come up with something new, and they find out the flaws. They try to find out the flaws in the previous theory. That happened with T.S. Eliot. He found out many flaws in the previous theories, and he appreciated few of them also. So then now this is new historicism. That is a basic. That's a complex thing. It's a very complex theory. Of course, I'll be there to explain whatever I have understood in my years of learning or research, whatever it is. I'm going to explain it to you. And this bit of modernism, because we are witnessing the age of the dawn of new era. And modernism is a continuous flow. It's a continuous flow of thoughts and school of thoughts. So I'll introduce a bit of modernism and the sequel of modernism, postmodernism. So we are going to study a bit of postmodernism. We're going to study the forms, different forms of literature, different forms of writing, that is formalism. And we're going, and of course, Czech. We are going to go to Czechoslovakia, Prague Linguistic Circle, a bit of linguistic also, and a sip of vodka, because there were formalists who came up with some new versions, or I would say evolved versions of formalism in uh, Soviet Russia. After this bit of postmodernism, almost we are coming towards the end of Second World War. Uh, there we will study about some paintings of Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso, because paintings are very important from point of view of criticism. Those are also a kind of literature. That's visual literature, of course. We have structuralism, structures, and post-structuralism. I'm going to explain them in the in the particular, respective lectures. Structuralism, the exponents of structuralism. Now, in this particular thing, the reader is the god. So there is the author. There's the author. There's a publisher, and the third most important thing. I won't say the third most. One of the most important thing. Why you're writing literature? Why you're writing poem? To please the gods? No, you're writing it for the mass, for the feedback of the people. So are you going to write a commercial literature, whatever they like? Are you going to produce cheap literature, vulgar literature? No, that's a different school of theory. So you're going to study reader response to what is the response of the reader. The criticism is based on that. We're going to study, is there a text outside the class? We're going to study Rolla Barthes. We are going to study death of an author. That's a crucial text in point of view of literary studies and criticism studies. Of course, we're going to connect all the famous classics, all the mythology, all the patterns, the quest for identity in archetypal criticism. So we'll go back to the classics, means the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Iliad, the Odyssey, Virgil's Aeneid, Paradise Lost of John Milton, blah blah. Psychoanalytic criticism is all over here. We're going to study Lacan, we're going to study Freud, and many more. Yeah, Carl Jung. We're going to study these three main people of psychoanalytic criticism. We're going to study about psychoneurosis. This is, I guess, I don't know. I have been drawn towards this particular thing. And the next two theories, I would say it has changed my life. It has changed the way I look at the world. It has changed the way I look at the different classes of the society, the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, and of course the power politics, the power politics between two gender, between two sexes. Of course, there are not only two sexes, male and female, there are other sexes also. We're going to study about it in queer theory. We're going to study about it, gender criticism. Of course, I'm going to touch upon it. I'm not too well equipped to speak so much about queer theory and gender criticism, because I have not that studied thoroughly. I'm going to be very honest with you, because I am also a student. Feminist criticism, yeah, woman power. Marxist criticism, who is rich. So if you think religion controls the politics of your country, if you think gender controls the power, no, the power lies in money, dude. Money is honey. Yeah. So economic, the economic, the capital, the income, the GDP, yeah, everything is over here. The power struggle, the class struggle, the workers in the factories, Marxist criticism, right for the laborers. Yeah, this is very important. End of fascism, the beginning of socialism, and towards the end of socialism, capitalism, we have this thing, Marxist criticism. The way you look at the world, the way you look at the brown, the way you look at the white, the way you look at the black people. That's post-colonial criticism. How England, how US are building up new colonies. Of course, the colonies made up by England. Um, I guess all of them have claimed their independence. If I'm not right, or correct me if I'm not right. So that's post-colonial criticism. How a colonial power has had tried to, wipe out the culture of the colonies, wipe out the language, as Angogiwo Thiongo in his famous essays explains. If you want to take out the if you want to colonize the people, you need to take out the erase the language, you need to erase the culture of that particular nation. How England has tried to erase the language, erase the the literature, or the famous songs, traditions of India and other some other countries. We're going to study about that. We're going to study about Spivak. We are going to study about Edward Said, the famous book which he came up with, the Orientalism, eco-criticism. We need to save our Mother Earth. So how literature has been portrayed in different kind of, sorry, not literature, Mother Nature. The nature has been portrayed in different kind of literature. What was the impact of those literature in that particular era upon nature? So of course, if you have studied, King Lear, he loses his school and he suddenly tries to divide the country without thinking of the topography, without thinking of the the effect on the particular soil or the nature or something like that. He goes on dividing his acres of land to his three daughters, two daughters. Of course, the last daughter was left out. This is a very recent development where we're going to study about the culture. We're going to study about Marxist criticism. We're going to study about post-colonial criticism and many other things in cultural studies. Well, literary criticism never ends, so that's just the beginning. To just wait and watch. So I try to upload one of each chapter in a single lecture. Maybe it will be of 30 minutes to 1 hour. That's it. So that's it from my side. Hope you are going to read something new. And if I'm going too fast, because my student once or twice they have said I am very fast while I'm teaching. But yeah, so if I am very fast while explaining it to you, you can just write it out on the comment box. So that's it. Long live literature.